To start off, we got a hole one out here. It is a par 3. It's about 250 to 270 feet. T sign says 250, but I don't know if that's right. Got a left-right wind. I'm gonna go Athena, kind of throw it at these trees, let it fade to the right, and then we'll go 2 off the first. Left to right's gonna drop it. So I'm gonna give it a bit of hyzer, throw it a bit higher than I normally would. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's parked. As you can see, we got a pretty nifty green here. It's got these railroad ties and then mulched in. Plays nice for if you want to play this hole as like an island in tournaments or something, which is something that they usually do. Nice birdie. Make one for player 2 real quick. Oh, here's hole 2. It's 430 uphill, pretty straight. There's OB on the right. I'm gonna go Z Light Force. Try to throw a little pushing hyzer that kind of slowly fades out. Never gotten a 2 on this one. I imagine it's pretty difficult. It's not bad. Maybe a little soft. Should leave me about 110 into the pin. I'd say probably 125-ish from here. I'm gonna go ESP zone. A little bit of hyzer. The left to right should knock me down. Should be just fine. Relatively routine. Pulled a little bit, but yeah, not bad. Par on 3. It's about usually what I normally get. We got hole 3. It's a par 4, 460. Just right out there, there is a little creek that runs just the bottom of this hill, and then you just kind of go up, and the basket is on this hill. Pretty soft par 3, really. Just kind of throw something out there, let it fade to the hillside, and then a jump putt or a short throw up for hopefully a 3. I'm gonna go Star Wraith. A little flippy. My footing's not the best though, because it did rain earlier today. We'll see what we got. Ooh, didn't trust it in the tailwind enough. Not, on the left in the tree line. I'm not quite sure what we'll have from there. I didn't really trust my footing there, so not my most committed shot. But we do have a foot behind the lie forehand here. Hopefully I can figure something out. I think I can go hex a little bit higher. Let it pan, hopefully. The wind should help me. It's just about getting enough pop that I can get all the way to the pin. A little overdone. Hit the tree. That's makeable. I got lucky enough to hit these branches up here and fall down to a makeable putt without getting into this tree right here. Got a right to left wind. Gotta get the nose up a little bit. Put it in the center. That was a good catch. That was a little left. Another birdie. Nice. We got hole 4 here. It's about 150, 160. We got a Mando on this tree on the right, so you gotta go on the inside. I like to go deflector, just kind of keep something low near the ground. Oftentimes I can get some sort of a skip kind of over to the basket. Yeah, that's pretty good. A little bit long, but did exactly what I was trying to do, so can't complain. We skipped just a little long, but inside the circle. So let's capitalize on a good forehand. Got a left to right wind here. So you need to get it high, maybe a bit left. Let the wind drop it. Nice. All right, we got hole 5 here. It's 250. Just right in front of us, there's a creek that separates this downslope and then the upslope. This hole always seemed to play far for me, so I'm gonna go a little bit faster. I'm gonna go photon. Normally 240, I'd probably throw like a mid, maybe a raptor, but I'm just gonna try to keep it high at this tree on the right, let it fade into the basket. This should be pretty routine, but I always seem to leave it short on this hole, so we'll see. Don't quite know if I pushed it far enough to the right, but we're about edge of circle 1, and we did go long, so at least I didn't leave it short. Inside the circle for another birdie. We got a tailwind, so I just need to put it a little bit high in the chains. Know that the wind's going to drop it just a little bit. And drop it did. Not a good putt. But hey, tapping par. Not bad. You could say the train distracted me. That's the excuse I'll go with today. We got hole 6 here. It's 312. Just kind of straight and to the right a little bit. Backhand turnover or forehand. There's a Mando in play on this right tree to prevent the hyzer over the road. That's what I'd normally throw if that wasn't there. So I'm gonna go mid. I'm gonna go Melita. It's kind of a flippier, straight to understable mid range. Just put it on a bit of anhyzer high. Hopefully it'll turn a little bit despite this bit of right to left wind here. I got it high enough, similar to what I wanted to do. Clip that branch out of the gap, so I didn't really get the turn I wanted, but got out just fine. Pin high, about probably 60 to the left. We'll give it a good, healthy bid. Sit. Oh no. Well, that's not good. It's a good run though. Not really the kind of putt that you want to have for your par, but inside 25, so definitely feel like you got to make it. Good putt. We got hole 7 here. It's 400 feet, dead straight. We got water on the left, a hillside on the right. I like roller here so I can fight the hillside a little bit as I kind of just ride up and then hopefully curl. We're throwing a recycled ESP Avenger SS. Great roller disc. And something that I really like to use. I know it's going to turn. So let's just keep this thing out of the water here. Pretty good angle. It should flip up just about exactly when I want it to. Yeah. Just outside circle 1. One thing I mentioned a lot in the bag is how much I pride myself in throwing rollers. That's a pretty good example of it, I'd say. I knew I could trust myself enough that I wasn't gonna underdo it, have it turn over, or just basically fade and roll into the water. And I played the hillside pretty perfectly. So I definitely have found a disc that I like to throw rollers with and stuck with it, and it's just one of the shots that I'm really pretty good at. As you can maybe tell, it started to rain a little bit more, but that's not stopping us today. We got hole 8, par 3, 200 feet, just right out in front of us. A smidge of a right to left wind, so I'm just gonna hang this zone out high, let the wind take it to the left. Should be just a pretty routine shot. Maybe a little short, but no, that's pretty perfect. Don't even need the lunas for this one. All right, guys, hole 9, we got 335. It's a big righty hyzer. There's a hanging basket on this one, and kind of a protected green that's tucked into the edge of the wood line there. So pretty cool pretty cool green on this one, but just a standard hyzer. We're gonna go Garrett Girthy Wraith 2022 run. Great run. Love this disc. Definitely got the push I need. Might fade a little bit too hard. Yeah, a little bit early, but and in the woods, but I think we'll have like a 40-footer there. We got a circle's edge putt for birdie. I think I landed here basically in the exact same spot last time I played out here. So going to a straddle, just got to get a little bit of a wrist pop, get it in there. Oh. And I did what I usually do with straddle putts, just pushed it a little bit to the right. All right, guys. So through 9 holes, I'm currently 4 down. Not too bad. One thing I like about the front 9 is the variety. Like hole 1, you have the island. On 2 holes there, you have mandatories that kind of force you to throw a certain way. And then a lot of different elevations and up and downs, especially in that part with the creek. So that's one nice thing. This back 9's a little bit more open, so we're going to be throwing a lot more kind of stall hyzers and pushing hyzers. But we'll go ahead and get to that part. So we got hole 10 here. It's 333 feet. I'm going to throw the Wraith I threw earlier. This hole looks really far just because of how uphill this first part is. And those trees out in the center of the fairway are actually way closer than they look. So I'm kind of just trying to flex this Wraith a little high, just crest the top of the hill, like keep turning a little bit, and then hopefully I can fade into these woods. This uphill run up on this tee pad isn't necessarily ideal though, but we'll give it our best shot here. Usually I like to go a little bit flippier, but we got a headwind today, so not trying to turn and burn anything. It's a good angle out of the hand, maybe a bit nose up, but I got the push I wanted. As I mentioned, this one got a little bit nose up off the tee, just kind of stalled and faded instead of pushed close to the basket. So we got a bit of a tricky 60-foot approach shot here. Normally I like to go pretty much backhand whenever I can for anything, but I don't really want to fade away from the basket and away from the hillside. So I'm going to try a deflector, a little chip forehand, and see if I can just kind of nestle it up right underneath. Don't really need much power, just a little bit of a wrist flick. Yeah, that's pretty good. As long as it sits. Okay, whew, that was a close one. We're gonna go tap that in real quick. Definitely a very unique green. As you can see, it's pretty protected by these trees, and a really cool hanging basket here. As I mentioned, it's the second of 2, one on the hole before this one. This is a really cool green. I kind of wish that the hole itself and the green itself was a little bit easier to access off the tee. That way, there's a little bit more of an incentive to run birdie putts at this one. But really nice hanging basket. Very cool. And a really cool sloped green. I like this one. All right, we got hole 11 here. It's 350 feet, just right out there. We got a nice down slope, and then the basket's on that other berm over there. I'm gonna go recycled force, 169 grams. I got it. I was hoping it'd be a little bit flippy, but it's actually kind of stable. So got a good bit of dome to it. We're just gonna try to put it out there on a smidge of anhyzer and trust the late stability of a force. Got the ante down. It's pretty flat. Now I just needed to swing a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. Just inside the circle. All right, inside the circle for birdie. Got a right to left headwind. Just need to put it a little bit nose up, aim a little bit lower in the basket. Trust the wind to take me home. Perfect. Good birdie. All right, guys, that's another birdie, putting us at 5 down through 11. We got hole 12 here. There's not a distance on the tee, but I would guess somewhere around 320 to 330. I'm going to go Austin Hannum 2020 Tour Series Force. reliably overstable, I'm just going to put it high in this window, try to keep the nose down so it doesn't stall, and then just know it's going to fade right to the basket. Kind of overdid it a little bit. I'm hoping the right to left headwind kind of stalls me and pushes me left. Which it did. I think we're just inside the circle. See if we can make another one. We got an edge of circle putt for birdie. Got a right to left headwind, so just gonna give it a little spin. Trust that the wind's gonna keep it up in the air. Just gotta put it on the right trajectory here. Low. Yeah, just didn't trust myself on that one. Dang. Tap and par. Gotta quit missing these circle ones. All right, we got hole 13. It's 236, just right out in front of us. Really nothing in the way. There is a OB gravel on the left, but hopefully that doesn't come into play. We got a left to right headwind, so I'm just gonna put this pyro high and flat, knowing it'll trust the stability to fade back. I did not put it high. I did put it flat. It is coming back late, but I think it's gonna be a little bit short right. All right, we must have got a decent skip on this edge of this longer grass over here, because we are once again around 20 to 25 feet for birdie. So eventually we need to start capitalizing on these. So got a right to left headwind here. I feel like somehow on every putt there's always a bit of a headwind. So just need to put this, trust the wind's gonna keep it up, put it low, spinny, middle of the basket. And once again, just not it. All right, as you might be able to tell, the rain's picking up just a little bit. So we got hole 14, 286, just right out in front of me. There's a left-right wind, so I'm going to try to put this high, flat. I'm going to let the overstability and the left-right wind just kind of drop this thing out of the sky. Definitely the width that I was looking for. And perfect distance. I think we got a pretty nice tap in for birdie there. All right, we got hole 15. It's a par 4, 466, just right out in front. I'm really excited for these trees on the right and to left to grow in and really define this hole. But in the meantime, it's a smidge eagleable. I've got it a couple of times, but I don't know about today. It's pretty breezy, but it's a right to left wind, so if I can put this on the right line, we might be able to get close enough to give me a look here. Let's see what we got. Nope, didn't get over on it. Just outside the 80 feet, I said. So we're just gonna give this a little bit of a little spinny pitch up. Maybe give it a bit of a run. Nope. No run. Tap on birdie on 15. All right, we got hole 16 out here. It's a par 3, 360. Just right out in front of us. Really nothing in the way. And if I had to say something about this course, is that is unfortunately a lot of the back nine. From hole 11 to, basically 18, there's not really a lot of obstacles in the way out here. But I'll kind of talk more about that once we finish the course. So I'm going recycled force. I'm just trying to get a feel for this thing as it's relatively new to my bag. So we're going to throw it a little bit Anheuser. Oof, that's so bad. Didn't really commit to the shot or the flatness needed, and just kind of threw it on some hyzer and let the tailwind just take it off to the left. All right, I really fluffed this one out here. Just kind of threw it out on way too much hyzer, being as overstable as this disc is, and with the tailwind. So hole 17 out here. It's the longest hole on the course, 500-foot par 4. It's straight out there, pretty easy, really, as long as you don't turn something over and get it down on this hillside or even at the bottom of the hill. So I just like to go Z-Light Force on a little bit of Anheuser high, knowing that it'll fade out eventually. So got a helping left to right here that should keep it held over for a little bit, and then it'll fade late. I'm kind of soft in everything today. Maybe it's because I don't trust these wet pads, but it's out there, so I'm probably about 130 out, going ESP zone. There's a good back slope on just behind this basket, so I'm gonna try to land it just in front of it. Definitely tugged it a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm long. That might be down the hill. Definitely mushed that one a little bit, but it was lucky enough not to roll away, so kind of uphill putt. Save birdie. Nope. Par it is. Sorry if it's getting a little bit harder to see. We're definitely out of daylight just about. So we got hole 18. It's par 3, 406. It's just right out there. Feels like a straight tailwind, maybe a bit of a left-right. So I'm going to throw the Z-Light Force on a bit of Anheuser. Hopefully it'll turn and then fade into the hillside. This one's a tough get just because of the distance. I definitely gave it a good snap, but overcooked it a little bit, so I'm guessing I'll be maybe a bit long of the basket. Well, I don't think I've ever been this far long of this hole, but I'm sure the tailwind had something to do with it. So we're looking about 70 feet back at the basket. Give this best run we can because it's hole 18. Oh, it's up. Hey! Oh, right in front of the basket. Par it is. It's a long hole, so can't really be too mad about a par. All right, guys, thank you for watching my round at the Chariton Disc Golf Course. I think I finished six, maybe 7 down, something like that. I'll post my UDisc scorecard here. But I like a couple things about this course. One of them is the fact that it does use Mandos well on a couple of the holes to actually make it so where the line that the course designer intended you to throw is the one that you actually are throwing. A lot of people don't really like Mandos. I actually kind of do, especially on some courses like this that are kind of park style, to where there's kind of a lot of unintended lines that could be thrown. Maybe a spike hyzer is a shot that's a lot easier than like a turnover or a forehand, which is something that the course designer kind of more intended the player to throw. Things like that I definitely am a fan of, or something that forces like a specific landing zone on a par 4. One thing about this course that I do kind of find a little bit bland, I guess, is that every shot is pretty similar. Either a forehand hyzer or a backhand hyzer. Especially on the back nine, there's just not a lot of obstacles out here, and that's really not something you can change without planting a bunch of trees and waiting a lot of years. And at the end of the day, I'm just happy that in the town that I live in, there is a course that I can come and play at.